Oh, baby, we on live. We are live from Florida Stan, USA. We're knocking these trips up the ballpark, but we are being selective with what we are picking because we don't want to pick up garbage. We don't want to pick up garbage. No garbage. With the microphone. Turn me up on the headphones. Where's my snare? Okay, go. Note the trip on multiple stops. We're not going to do that. I've been handing out today 1 stars like hotcakes. I've had a couple of undesirable rides today, about 4 of them, which is weird for that to happen. It's rare that happens. But I don't mind because my 1 star game is strong. Nobody acting, I wouldn't say anybody acting crazy, but undesirably, yes. Nobody acting crazy, but acting undesirably, yes. So those people got a 1 star, and they'll never be in this vehicle again, even if I am down the street from them. Don't spam, don't spam. How are you? How are you? Welcome, Mr. Charlie. I do not speak Hindi, no. I speak English. Hello, welcome, aesthetic. We are live from Florida Stand, USA. You'll teach me Hindi. I appreciate the offer. Thank you very much, but I'm not interested. But thank you very much. What part of India are you from? If you're just stopping by, please hit the like button on the stream and let me know where you're from. I would like to know. I'm online now. I am waiting for some Uber trips, but at this time there's a lot of traffic here in Tampa, Florida Stand, USA. So you got to be very patient. Very patient at this time. Come on, come on. We're in the middle of the street. That's much better. Why am I always driving? Because that's what I do. I drive. Yo, what's good, John? Serontakis. That's what I do. I drive. They're sending me some ridiculous offers right now that I won't take. $4. You're crazy. No one is putting their butt in my backseat for $4. That's not gonna happen. Bangladesh. I think this shirt is from Bangladesh. Made in Bangladesh. The Bengalis. There's a lot of Bengalis in Michigan. Big Bengali community in Michigan. Detroit. Is that a sister in that car? I can't quite see. Maybe it's a sister. Florida Stan. Florida Stan, USA. You ever been to Florida Stan? Go and try to get an airport ride. Not worth it, bro. It is not worth it. I only can do Uber X in this car. And it's not worth, first of all, you're going to be waiting for a long time. Second of all, when you do get something, it's a Uber X. Not worth it at all. Rarely does a Uber X come in the airport that you're like, oh, well, it's paying what? $1.50 per mile. That's rare. And we're talking about $1.50, which is not that much. Most of the time, you're going to get garbage. You know this place? You know Florida Stan? Garbage. See, at this time, see, right now they're sending me an hour and 7 minute drive, 30 miles for $23. 30 miles, $23, an hour, 7 minutes, plus driving to pick them up. Cheese! I used to Uber same area, St. Pete, Tampa, but I did Excel and made the most with the airport. So before this one, I had a Highlander. I will say there's a good amount of comfort trips here in Tampa, and the comfort trips are paying me good. And in the Highlander, yeah, I could do Excel also. Yeah, I will say it was worth it with the Highlander, waiting for the Excel trips. The thing is that Highlander was giving me issues, like the axle was giving it was a pain and stuff like this. It had issues, so I had to get rid of it, and now I got a Buick. I thought prior to checking in the Uber list that this will qualify because there's other Buicks that qualify for comfort and stuff like this. This one doesn't qualify for comfort or Excel. So I was like, I never had a Buick before, so I was like, oh, this kind of looks like a RAV4, you know, but it doesn't qualify for comfort or Excel. I was like, man. So I'm gonna keep this. I'm probably gonna keep this for another 15, 20,000 miles, and then get rid of it. And I'm gonna try to get something bigger in because I gotta work much longer now to make the money. Appreciate it, gamer. Am I in England? No, I am in Florida Stan. You did it with an Escalade. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Um, what other categories could you do? Were you able to do with the Escalade? Because the Escalade is what, V6, V8? Yeah, that's gonna eat. That's gonna eat. It's a dragon, bro. But was XL the top category you could do with the Escalade? CL, how you doing? No, I'm not in England. I'm in Florida, staying. Double XL. How often would you get double XL? You have to wait a long time for it, right? And would you say there was a big difference between the double XL and the XL when it came to pay? Like, was it substantially more, or would you say, yeah, not much of a difference? Because I know them dudes in New York with the Suburbans and stuff like that. They make good money, but also in New York, everything's more expensive too. Rent, bills, you know. And some of these dudes, they pay like $1,200 of car note. So some of them, they make good money. But one of the dudes was breaking it down on TikTok. This Dominican dude, and he was like, you know what? It's not worth it because yes, I make all this money, right? But then I have to invest in suits, pants, shirts, like like nice suits and stuff like this, and then the dry cleaning and the washing and the dry cleaning is not like you can just throw it in the washer. It needs a good dry cleaning and stuff like that. He's like, all this starts adding up. Airports were the best. Tips and clients. And really, sometimes. So, oh yeah. Sometimes you can get personal clients too. Those guys, they get personal clients too. So hold on, you showed up. You would show up with an Escalade and a T-shirt and some shorts. Some dudes do that, bro. They show up with nice cars and like flip flops, a tank top. I saw a dude in the video. No way you did that. No way you did that. My man showed up in flip flops with a crazy as heck, man. And what happened to the Escalade? You got rid of it? That might have been you in that video I saw. Somebody took. Not even a smart shirt. My man will get out of bed, same shirt he went to sleep on with, beach tent top, put on his flip flops, pair of shorts, got an Escalade, and said, "Let me go pick up this XL and double XL trips." You got into an accident. It was total loss. How you doing, Swedish? How's it going? So you totaled it, yeah? And was it did you have it paid off or were you making payments on it? You're financing it? How much would you spend on maintenance? Because I do my own oil change and everything, bro. I spend like 45 to $50 on my oil change because I do it myself. I get the oil and the filter. Aaron wasn't opening no doors. Full coverage and gap. Okay. Yeah. Aaron showed up in flip flops and beach shorts. You think he was opening doors? No shot. No shot he was opening doors. You get in Aaron's car and the customer will be like, "Hi." He will be like, "Yo, what up?" Country, USA, Florida stand. Sometimes I would. Oh, yeah, you got to read on the client. Yeah, man. I want to change cars, but I'm gonna put right now. I got 55,000 on this one. 55,000 miles. I think another 15 when I get to 70. I'll get rid of it. I want to get a Lexus, but I want to see. Um, I need to get a Lexus that qualifies for other categories. I can't long term. I can't do just X, bro. You spend too many hours on the road to make maybe 80% of the money I did before. Putting in way more hours. X is not paying. you know, X is just not paying right now. And it's not that there's no rides. The rides are there. The problem is that the money's not there. Oh, I get 200 rides a day. $3, $4, $5. Like 386 coming in right now. No, bro, I'm picking up nobody at this time. 433 for $3, $4, $5. Yeah, Aaron been doing the smoking. Aaron will be like, "Hey, I'm about to light this up. You okay? You okay with me smoking? You have any history of asthma or allergies? No. Okay, let me light this one up." Yeah, man. No way. Tips are rare tips to come by. I got $3 cash tip today. $3, and it was from a man that I picked up from here actually, a Publix, an old man. And I found this a little weird because he texted me before I got there. As soon as I accepted the trip, and I hate when people text me as soon as I accept the trip or they call me. I hate that. I usually cancel. But anyway, the man texts me and he's like, "Hi, I'm in front of the Publix. $3 tip." I said, "What is that? Huh? $3 tip? I don't know what that means." Like that's strange. I've never seen. Like, well, what does that mean? $3 tip. Like, why would you tip? Why would you text me that? Yeah. Anyway, I show up and it was an elderly guy. He had like 3 bags. He comes in and he's like, "Here." He gives me $3 tip. I'm like, "Oh, thank you." He's like, the guy that there was a guy that came to pick me up before you, and he stopped in front of me. He saw me and he took off. I'm like, man, that's messed up. That got me a little upset because that's messed up. Because look, I also hate when I go to Publix and there's a person with a bunch of groceries. I hate that too. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not gonna pull up to a Publix, see an old man with some bags, and take off in front of the guy. You know what I mean? Like if I don't want to go to the Publix, I'll cancel the ride before I even get there. I'm not even gonna get there to cancel the ride. How you gonna pull up, see an old man with some bags, and cancel the ride in front of him and drive off, bro? Like that's that's douche on another level right there. Yeah, it was an old man. $3 is fine. I mean, he didn't have to give me anything. Tips are not in rides. Tips are not really mandatory. But I tell you what, the people that tip me the most are the elderly people. I tell you who never tips. You know who never tips me? Women. Women are stingy with their money. They never tip you. There's one group of women that will tip you. The elderly women. I'm not talking about in their 50s. I'm talking about like grandmas and great grandmas. They'll tip you. Oh, here, you can buy yourself a little drink, a little coffee. They'll give you a couple bucks. I'm not saying that I've never had a younger woman tip me. That's not what I'm saying. I've had. But it is so rare that that happens. See? Aaron knows what I'm talking about. It is so rare that that happens that is incredible. Right? With dudes, if you have conversation with dudes, just talking about dude stuff, just vibing, they'll tip you. 2 days ago, and usually I like my rice quiet, to be honest. I like my rides quiet because I drive like this. You see my headphones? I drive like this. I'm listening to a podcast. I'm learning something, right? I'm never bored on my rides because I take responsibility for everything, including my entertainment. I don't understand how a person can be, even if I was, and I've been in Ubers before, sitting back there with a phone in their hand and be bored to the point that they can't shut their mind off and they need to talk about nothing. The reason why I don't like to have conversations in most of the rides is because all the rides are about nothing. Stuff that you're not going to remember 10 minutes from now, you know? So because people are very predictable and they talk usually about the same stuff. But every now and then I'll have some good conversation. Some good conversation is usually with guys. A couple of days ago, I said, you know what? I'm in a good mood today. Let me have my coffee. I'm gonna have conversation with everybody that comes in. And I tested this out. I had like 7 conversations, back to back to back to back to back. Now it so happened that the person wanted to talk, right? Some people don't want to talk, and you have to know how to read this when somebody doesn't want to talk, right? So, but this 7 people, they all wanted to talk, all of them. I had great conversation with all 7 people. 3 guys, 4 girls. Great conversation. They were both, all of them were loving the conversation, right? We were all laughing, the whole thing. All 3 of the guys tipped me. One tipped me $5. The other one tipped me $7. The other one tipped me $11. None of the chicks tipped me. And I already knew this because I've been at this for a long time. But I already know that women are stingy with their money consistently. They're greedy as heck, bro. That's the facts. You're not elder and you tip, but I'm saying it's not 100%. Like I said, I'm not saying that I've never had a younger woman tip me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that in general, right? If you take 100 women, if you give a trip to 100 women, and you give a trip to 100 guys, I will guarantee you that you will get more tips from the dudes than from the women. And I'm willing to bet you that if you look at the out of the 100 women, the women that did tip, I'm willing to bet you that they're like on the older side of things. Like I'm not gonna say almost every old woman tips me, but I'll say like 60% of the elderly women give me like $3, $4 tip. Here, get yourself a soda. You know what else they give you? Candy. Candy is like the currency for elderly people. You ever had an older person give you candies? Candy. As someone who used to work DoorDash, you know the breezy, you know the business. Yeah, and food for sure. You got to tip, man. If you're ordering food and you're not tipping, I don't know what you're doing. What's up, John? My grandpa used to carry a big bag of candy. I'm telling you, that's like elderly people currency right there. Is that candy, bro? Yo, no. I've been always curious about how people tip. Had some guy invite me to the strip club. Yeah, I found that too. One time, and bro handed me a stack of cash and told me to throw it on. Yeah, I've had people do stuff like that, but I don't take offers. Like I've had people say, "Hey, come chill with us, come to this party with us, come." But I'll tell you, and I made a video about this. Let me tell you the group of people. There's a group of people that I hate. I detest taking. This is actually in the last video I posted on my channel. I hate. I hate. I hate taking a group of college girls on a Friday or Saturday night anywhere. I avoid this like the plague. It so happened that a couple of days ago I showed up to I've picked up from this apartment building before plenty of times, and it's just been like regular rides. A person comes in and they get in the car, whatever. So I didn't think nothing of it. This is like the 7th or 8th time I've gone to this apartment building to pick up somebody. Each time has been like one person I pick up. This was on Saturday, I think. Saturday night or Friday night, I forget. Anyway, I show up and I'm waiting, and I look to my left, and I'm this apartment building has like this like huge parking lot that it's like kind of like this. Let me show you. The road is like that, right? So you have to wait. Now, a lot of cars driving by, and you have to wait until all the cars are clear to be able to get on the main road. So it's a main road, right? It's a main road, and then you're in the parking lot. So it's not like you can drive off. You're in the street waiting, and you drive off, right? Anyway, I'm waiting, and I see a group of 4 white girls, college girls, walk into my car, about 90% naked, barely covering anything. And they're all 4 of them walking to my car. And as I see them walk into my car, I look at my iPad, because I'm working from my iPad. I look at my iPad, and you can see the little blue person. The little blue person, that means that's the person that you're there to pick up. So it gives you a pin with a location, which is like a little green square. And then you see a little blue person with a circle around it. And you see that little thing moving. So you can tell when the person's coming to the car. So I look at my iPad, and I look, and I see a group of 4 college girls, half naked, walking to my car. And I see the little blue person getting closer and closer because they were walking from a distance. I'm like, no, 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 no. I literally said that, right? And then I look to my right, and I'm like, there's too much traffic. The reason I say it's too much traffic is because I thought of leaving. I thought of leaving. I don't want these chicks in my car. Why? What's wrong? What's wrong with 4 college girls in your car, bro? It's always some BS with these chicks, especially when they're in groups on a Friday night. And I get it. They're going somewhere. They're going to some party, some event. You know, their emotional state is hyped up. I get that part. But when you get them in the car, they become very annoying. Hi. Hello. Suze. And this is the thing. They all start talking to each other at the same time. The one sitting in the front, this never fails, starts talking to the people in the back. But then your head is right here, and her lips are right here, and she's talking to this girl, right? Then they start talking about weird stuff. Periods, who's sleeping with who might sleep with who tonight, in front of a random strange man that they've never met, right? That is providing a service, taking them somewhere. Who's, I think I'm ovulating. The weirdest crap that you can think of, right? Wow. Hey, do you have aux cord? Holy shit, man. Relax. We're going to be there 5 minutes. Bro, I would rather have a group of monkeys in my car. Physical baboons. I would rather have physical baboons in the car, and I think the ride will be more pleasant. What do you mean, aux cord? We're going to be there in 5 minutes. Relax. Oh, hi. Oh, what's up? Hi, how you doing? Because I'm nice to everybody, but it's a level of energy in a little box, very enclosed space, talking about the weirdest thing, half naked. Then they want to mess with your AC vents, because of course I'm cold. Yeah, you're cold because you're naked, first of all, right? You know, I told that to a woman one time. Some chick, I picked up a chick one time. This was back in Miami. She comes in. I'm telling you, about 90 to 95% of the clothes was gone. This chick came in like, she was a thin girl, but it was like this. Her skirt was like this big, and then her top was like this big. There was nothing else. And a pair of high heels. She comes in my car. The first thing she says is, this is in Miami. Summertime, humid, even nighttime is humid, mosquitoes everywhere. First thing, the first 10 seconds, you know what she tells me? Do you mind turning off the AC? It's cold. I said, it's cold because you don't have clothes on. She said, excuse me? I said, it's cold because you don't have clothes on. It's hot outside. I can't turn off the AC because I'm going to be hot. I'm going to start sweating. Can you turn off the AC because I'm cold? Yeah, if you had some clothes on, you would not be cold. Because the AC, it's not like I have the AC blasting in my car. I have it at 1. Look, even right now. That's how I keep my AC. Maybe at this. So it's not like the AC is here. Yeah? I had it about this. I'm cold. You think I'm about to start sweating in my car because you chose to go out naked. Now you're in my car and you want me to turn off the AC and be hot because you're cold. And I'm dressed and you're naked. How you doing, gamer? No, what's up? Bro, I don't like to pick up chicks. A group of chicks that are going anywhere especially college girls. No, man. I hate it. I hate it. I avoid it. If I get any request, the thing is that Uber, they send you their request really fast now. Like they don't give you enough time to see where you're picking up from. But whenever I have a chance to see where I'm picking up from, if I see the university on a Friday night, I don't go. I just don't accept the trip. I let it expire. Somebody else will take it. It's always some crap. Then you'll have the same thing that happened. I think it was like on Friday or Saturday. I pick up a group. It was a girl. It was a girl, and a guy. 4 people. A girl, and a guy. One of the girls sits in front, of course, because well, I don't know why the guy didn't sit up front. That's kind of weird. Because if I was with a group of any girls, I'm sitting in the front. I'm not sitting in the back. Why am I letting a girl sit in the front, right, with the dude that's driving? But anyway, dude sits in the back. 2 girls and another girl. The girl in the front. So how's your night going? Going good. Can't complain. Thank you, Ella. Appreciate that. I'm in Florida. Thank you for the super chat. I'm in Florida. I used to live in Miami, but I live in Tampa now. So, how's your night? My night's good. How's your night going? Oh, it's great because this and that. Oh, great, great, great. Then she starts talking about to me like, "What's your favorite color?" I'm like, "Oh, it's black." She's like, "Oh, my favorite color is black too." No, get out of here. I'm like, "Yeah." Then she starts asking everybody what their favorite color is, and oh, what time you get out? And I try to, when I see situations like this, I try to make it as boring as possible. Like just the boring man, just I'm like, I work too late and I go home with my wife and I don't do anything. I'm an old man, I'm a very boring guy. I don't do anything. I don't have any hobbies or anything like this. It's like, no, really, you must have something. You must like to do something. I'm like, no, really, and the more I tell them that I'm boring, I'm old, I have no interest, no hobbies, the more they want to talk. And it's look. I don't know how to explain it. I know I'm coming off like the Grinch, but it's not that. It's just that I'm picking you up with your friends. Fine, you guys are going out to a party. You guys are going out to have a good time. But we're gonna be there in 5 minutes. Why do you need aux cord? Why do you need to try to mess with my radio? Why do you need to mess with my vents? Why do you guys need to talk to each other, all four of you at the same time about different topics? Why are your lips 3 inches away from my ear as you're talking to this person back here? Why are you guys moving around? Sometimes I'm at a light in the cars. What's happening? Relax. We'll be there in 5 minutes. So I can't stand it, man. If I can avoid those type of trips where I'm picking up a group of college girls, because the dudes, believe it or not, if it's a group of dudes, I can talk to them differently. Hey, bro, you have aux cord? Bro, I don't play music in my car. We'll be there in a minute. Oh man, but come on, man. That's it. I'll turn to the dude next to me and be like, "What's up with this dude, man? This is your boy?" Believe it or not, the guys, you can shame them a little bit, and then either somebody in the back will tell them, "Yo, Josh, relax, bro. Stop being a dick or whatever." You can't do that with a group of chicks. You can't do that with a group of college chicks. Yo, who's your girl over here? Oh my God, what's wrong with you? They're not gonna get on your side. But but that's why I don't do business that much anymore. Like Friday nights, Saturday nights, and I used to back in Miami. I used to stay out till late and do business like that overnight. But man, after a while, it's not worth it. I stay away from events. What's up, Joseph? Actually, salam alaikum. Have you? What do you usually take? Like you take Uber or you take Lyft? Where's Aaron at? Is Aaron still here? I haven't really taken on, and I noticed since I moved to Tampa, I noticed Lyft is pretty dead over here. You take Uber? Uber, you know what's crazy? Uber has done better marketing than Lyft since they started. Because I've picked up, let's say I go pick up somebody, I've gone to pick up people on a Lyft. They're using Lyft, right? But they'll get on the phone, they're talking to somebody they know, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm on my way home, I'm in an Uber." But they're not in an Uber, they're in a Lyft. But I think from a marketing standpoint, Uber has done a better job at marketing their company better to where even when you pick up people through the Lyft app, they're like, "Yeah, I'm in an Uber, I'm in an Uber." Nobody ever says I'm in a Lyft, bro. And I noticed that for a long time. But yeah, I noticed that. And here's another thing. It's not like tipping is mandatory. It's not mandatory. It's just an observation I've made throughout, you know, throughout the time that when it comes to rideshare in general, of course there are women that tip, but in general, uh, women won't tip you in general, right? And the ones that do are the elderly women, and it's not mandatory. And also, here's another side of things: Uber doesn't disclose. Like most passengers don't know what the driver's making, right? Most passengers pay, and they think, oh, driver's getting paid good. They don't know that Uber's taking like 60% of that. That if they paid, I don't know, $20, the driver's getting paid like 7 or 8, right? They don't know this, and it's not really their responsibility to know. They're just ordering a service. I get that, but also, anytime I've ever taken an Uber, I guess it's because I know this side of the business, right? I always tip. I've taken several Ubers, not that many, but every time I've taken an Uber, the driver likes me. The driver likes me, and I can tell in conversation because there's a driver. So I go in and I'm like, "Hey, bro, what's up? How's business? I'm a driver. I'm an Uber driver too. I'm just not driving today. Whatever. I'm repairing my car. Oh, they want to talk about it. And then I tell them, hey, I got you at the end. Don't worry, I got you on the app because I know they be stealing from us and all that. So, and I always tip them at the end, but that's because I know the business. But ultimately, it comes down to Uber stealing from everybody. They're stealing from the passenger. They're overcharging the passenger, and they're taking most of the money from the driver. That's what it comes down to. It's easier to win. Yeah, I appreciate that, Ella. But who was it? Somebody told me the other day, "Oh, would you give a rider a 1 star? 1 star if they don't tip?" No, I don't do that. That's that's retarded. Also, to do that because the rider doesn't have to tip. If they tip, it's a courtesy. Again, the rider is not aware of the dirty stuff the Uber's doing. They're not aware of that. It's not like Uber breaks it down. Here's how much we're paying the driver, and this is how much we're taking from the driver. They don't want Uber to know. I mean, they don't want the clients to know. Yeah. A friend of mine owns a upper tier taxi company, and Uber is killing him. He owns a taxi company. Like he has several cabs. Because I think taxis still do well in the airport. I think mainly that's where taxi cabs do well at the airport. They still do pretty good, despite of Uber. Now on the street, I don't think they can compete with Uber on the street. And I think taxis have made their business now also with you can pay with card. If I'm not mistaken, some taxis at least. And you're saying that revenue in their business has gone down a lot, right? Now let's go back online and see what's going on here. Here in Canada, they charge us double. Dang! You ever gotten a You ever order a Uber? No. Canada. Canada's gonna be the next state of the United States. That's the word in the street. What do you think about that? No. You ready to join the states? What state do you live in, Ella? What state do you currently live in now? Really? You wouldn't care, no? He said, "Yep, sign us up." Man, especially in Quebec, people speak French in an English continent. Oh, I don't know a lick of French. The only French I know is mademoiselle, and I think that means madam or ma'am or Mrs. You're in Thailand. Ella, have you ever been since you go to Cali and stuff? Have you ever been in a Waymo, the driverless? It's like the driverless Uber. Vitamin E is good for the eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and try that then. Thank you for that. Much love, Lopez. I've seen those Waymos. Would you get in one? They said they wanted to start trying that out next year in Miami. No Waymo. I don't trust them. Those uh, driverless driverless cars. Uh-uh. No, sorry, Bob. I'm not interested. I know some people are like, oh, it's so cool. I've seen some people film their experience. What? Bro, I'm not gonna go drive 20 minutes to pick up somebody to drop him off 8 minutes for $6. What are you smoking? What is that? Obama. Ella said, I don't think I would take driver's car. I don't trust it. I would not get ever in a driverless car. No, especially providing a service for me. No, I'm good. There was a lady that got in one, and then she was at a light, and the light turned green, and the car wouldn't go. So people started honking at her. Well, at the car. Some guy got out of the car, starts kicking the car. He's looking inside. He's all confused. They had to send some like roadside assistance from the company to like get her moving again. She's like, you see, if there was a driver, if there was a person in the front, they know to go on green. I would never take this service again. No, I'm not interested in that. Even the big trucks, like the people that do trucking, even that they want to automate. They want to cut off the, you're killing jobs when you're doing that. You're killing thousands, hundreds of thousands of jobs of people. What's going on, Easy? Hacked and sent to a river. What? That's another thing that doesn't get talked about, the hacking. The hacking of the system. When they start hacking systems of cars and stuff like that, and a lot of crazy stuff starts happening, you're gonna see people start drifting away from it and be like, I ain't getting in one of those things. They do. They're growing, right? In San Francisco. San Francisco is a mess of a city. The theft epidemic, homelessness, drugs, businesses closing. And San Francisco is a beautiful city. Structurally, is a beautiful city, but the conditions and the I've seen videos of people just walking into the grocery store and just walking out like nothing. There was a lady one time, I saw a video of a lady one time. She was filming this lady that was leaving the grocery store with a buggy full of things. And she was like, that's her third time here today. And she's just walking out without paying. She's like, that's her third time today doing that. That's crazy, man. That's insane. Why do people hate Elon? See, the reason why I think people hate Elon is because I think the world has become very like black and white, and I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about thinking, black and white thing. For example, I did a short about this today, actually. When you say the name Elon, a lot of people go, "Oh, I hate him or I like him." I can say, I think he is really good what he's doing with Doge. He's killing it. and he's 100% wrong on the Palestine and Israel issue. That's what I think about Elon. Great businessman, has done some incredible things, is continuing to do incredible things. He's 100% wrong on the Israel Palestine. Don't support him there at all. And he's doing a good job with Doge. People can't seem to think like this or see things how they are, right? It's like, oh, a lot of people go, he's doing this that I don't like. I hate the guy. I don't like him. He's an a-hole. They don't extrapolate, okay, this person is good at this and they suck at these other things, or they're wrong here and they're right in these other things. They don't do this. Hack an AI, that would be crazy. That would be bananas. Imagine you're driving one of them electric cars, they take control of your car, and you trying to like go this way, and the steering wheel's trying to go this way, and then they start going like this to like mess with you, and then the door's locked. What? What are your thoughts on Muhammad? Imam who? Muhammad. I don't know. I will have to. I'm not really good putting names to people. Like maybe if I see him, maybe I know who you're talking about, but I will have to look him up first. Yeah, San Francisco is. What's up, James? Oh, thank you, James. I just chopped off my own sides. I didn't even really go to the barber. I don't go to the barber. I just, there's no detail in it. I just appreciate that, bro. How you doing? Why does he deserve terrorism? What do you mean? Are you talking about like the thing that the people are doing to the cyber trucks? Burning of the cyber trucks? Is that what you're referring to? Do I watch cricket? No, I don't watch cricket. I don't think cricket is a big thing here in the U.S. I'm not saying nobody plays cricket here. I'm just saying that it's not like a main thing. Like, are you gay? No. How should American deal with the Houthis bombing our ships? Um, that's an interesting subject right there because why are the Houthis bombing our ships? See, I like to ask why. Sometimes I go into Socrates mode, and why is a very powerful thing to ask because why allows you to peel back layers. Before you discuss right or wrong, I like to ask why. Why is that happening? Right? Why? There's nothing wrong with asking why. Okay, let's find out the why. And perhaps there's another why to that why. I'm not saying go on to into Socrates mode forever. I'm just saying I want to know why the Houthis are doing that. What's the reason behind it? Now, if the legitimate reason is because they feel like it and they don't really have a reason, they just want to terrorize the world, screw them, right? But if that's not the reason, why is the reason? So when you start peeling back layers, you realize, well, I'm not saying what they're doing is right because they're affecting other people in the world that might not even have anything to do with it, right? But do they have a legitimate reason for doing it? Not that the act itself is good, right? Because again, it affects other people, have nothing to do with it. But do they have a valid reason for taking actions like that? So I like to ask why. My allergies are killing me right now. The ring, I don't even know where I got the ring. I got it from somewhere online a while back. Uh, I don't even know. It's been a long time since I got it. Um, it's been a long time since I did this. Hold on. It's been months since I gave somebody a ranch. But Ella, I know why you're asking if John is here. I know why you're asking, but you don't have to ask why if John is here. You can do it now yourself. Um, um, what's up, Aiden? 7-7 gave a borderline retarded answer. He said it's because of Islam that the Houthis are doing what they're doing. I can't say that's borderline retarded. That's full blown retarded. Ella, you got it. Why isn't there a ranch next to your name though? You weren't quick enough. You gotta be faster than that. You're too slow. Billionaire. Reform? No, I don't like reform. When it comes to Islam, I don't think Islam should be reformed or changed or anything like this. It should be left as it is. Allah made it clear in the Quran, your religion has been perfected. If something is perfected, it doesn't need reform. I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it a day when it comes to, unless they send me something good. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait 5 minutes. If they don't send me something worth taking, I'm pulling the plug. Ella, you still here? I wanna. Can you type something in the chat? I just want to see if the ranch was added to your name. I think the last person I gave a ranch to months ago was John. Habibi, what's up? KQ? Epic City in Texas. Some Muslim community being built in Texas. And our governor is investing on it. Alhamdulillah. What's up, Devin? Okay, I just wanted to see if you got the ranch. Um oh man. I was watching a documentary about Muslims in Michigan. There's a large Muslim community in Michigan, alhamdulillah. And there's a lot of Bengalis in Michigan. How you doing, Chais? How you doing, Lopez? Hello? Yeah, JC, I cut my own hair, man. I don't go to barber. I owe myself, I save money. Barbers, If they rely on me to get business, they go out of business. They go out of business. I don't go to the barber. You know what I need to do right now? By the way, guys, if you're just stopping by now, please hit the like button. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know if you guys know the story because I see a lot of new people here today. I don't know if you guys know the story or not, but it's a long story. But I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna give you the highlights of the movie. Imagine a movie. I'm just gonna give you like a little highlight slash trailer. I have a son. He's 3.5. He's about to be 4. When me and his mother separated, when his mother and I separated, we used to live in Miami. She moved to Tampa, blocked all communication, and did not tell me where she moved to. So I had to find her. I moved here to Tampa, and now I'm taking her to court to get my son back, inshallah. We have court next month. And I got me a lawyer too. I got me a lady lawyer. That's the highlights. Like, that's just few highlights, right? She's open communication since this happened a few months ago. And every now and then she'll pick up a phone call. I was able to see him for half a day a couple of weeks back. And I'll share with you guys now. This was when I last had my son with me for a few hours. Because she's been trying to get me to drop the case. Let's do it between us. We're not doing nothing between us. Because last time we tried to do it between us, she blocked all communication, moved 4.5 hours away here, and I didn't see my son for a year and a half. So there's no doing it between us, right? We're doing it through the court. I'm taking her to court. But this is me and my son, and this is the last. It's been over a month already since I last saw him in person for a little while. That's just me and him at the park for a little bit. Um, this is just a little video clip of me and him when I took him to the apartment so that he will get comfortable with, the surroundings and things like this. But make no mistake, he knew right away who his papa was. It's amazing. She kept him over almost 2 years away from me, and he right away knew who his papa was. That boy's not even 4 years old yet. And when she was in the process of playing nice with me, trying to get me to withdraw the case, she's like, "Why don't you meet me at school in the morning so you can, take him to the class and stuff like that, so you can see his school." So of course I'm not gonna say no, but I knew she was playing, she's playing a game. So that was from my dash camera. That was a picture. When he saw me, he was really happy, and he immediately started hugging me. He knows who his papa is. I appreciate it, easy. Yeah, I got to do it to the court, Ella. No doubt about it. What's up, ENG? You got to give him, got to give her credit. No, it's not because she showed him pictures. She didn't show him any pictures. My son was born back in Miami when me and her were still together, and he lived his first year and a half with me. And then when we separated, she decided it was going to be a good idea to bring him with me, and because we weren't married, In the eyes of the law, as a lawyer explained to me, she did nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong. She took my son, blocked communication, and moved away. If I did that, it would be called parental kidnapping, and there will be an Amber Alert on the phone. Everybody's phone. Bah, 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 missing child, blah, blah, blah. Abductor. Abductee with a picture of me, his father. Abductee. But because she did it, you gotta go to court, bro. But I could have said, you know what? What ifs? I could have said, what ifs, man? I'm not doing this. And a lot of guys just go, whatever. I'm gonna continue to live my life. Bye. But I'm not that guy. I don't care if this woman would have moved to China. I would have gone, relocate to China, take her to court, get my son back. And that's what I did. I moved here to Tampa. I have an amazing woman with me. Love my lady. She's been supportive through everything. We moved here. I filed my paperwork. She got served. I got a lawyer. Now we're going to court next month. Inshallah. Oh, what I was gonna do was I was gonna call to see if I can see him. And if I can see him here, I'll put him on the video. Yeah. He knows who Papa is and he needs his Papa. Every kid needs both parents, mom and dad. Every kid. I don't care who the kid is, they need both. He doesn't need Papa more than Mama or Mama more than Papa. He needs both. That's why there's two people that Allah brought together to make a child. So when you use when one parent, whoever does it, whether it's the man or the woman, when a parent uses a child for a personal vendetta, it's a disgusting act. You're using a child, depriving the child. What you're really doing is depriving the child of time with the other parent because you want to be spiteful. That's disgusting. In this country as well as money. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Assam. But I mean, the state of Florida is pretty good when it comes to this. And my lawyer was explaining to me. She was explaining to me that recently the state of Florida has, I don't know exactly what they did, but they're giving more rights to unwed fathers because of the situation. It's really messed up. So they're giving more rights. What those rights are until I don't know, but it says that they're being more lenient, giving more rights to the father. But you still have to go through the court to enforce those rights. Otherwise, you have no rights. But you have them, but you got to go ask daddy judge or mama judge to give them to you first. Now, what I'm asking for is 50-50 equal timeshare. That's what I'm asking for, right? I moved here. I located her, moved here, take her to court, and I'm asking for my 50-50. Now, when she first got served and she realized this guy did what? He found me, he moved here, and he's taking me to court because she got served. She got the papers. She unblocked communication and she contacted me trying to get me to drop the case. That was her intention. So she started playing very nice at the beginning. When she realized I wasn't going to drop the case, she then filed a counter petition to mine, a response to what I filed. And she's asking the court for me to have him because she realized, okay, this is going to go through. This guy's not going to back down. He's not, he's not taking this. This is going to go to the court. So he's asking the court for me to have him every other weekend only. Why? If I have him every other weekend, I got to pay her money. If I have him 50-50, I don't have to pay her anything. She just had a baby with another guy that she lives with now. By the way, before I forget, not gonna forget, but let me just do it now. See if I can get my son on the video call. Most of the time, she doesn't answer. I'm video calling now. No answer. I'm not shocked. I expect it. She went like 3 or 4 days the other day without answering, for just because she feels like it, right? Then on the fifth day I call and she happens to answer. But what I'm asking the court is not nothing crazy. 50-50 equal timeshare. Whenever she has him, I get to see him once a day on a video call. Whenever I have him, she gets to see him once a day. That's it. Record phone calls. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing, Sandra. See, I hate that word when it comes to dads of visitation. Visitation sound. Think about it. Visitation sounds like you're going to go visit somebody in prison. Like you get to see him visitate, and then why is it? You ever thought why is it set? The wording is set up like that. Visitation. I didn't move to Tampa for visitation. I moved here to raise my son. So I hate the fact that the system uses that word of visitation. I'm not here to visitate anybody. So I'm filing 50-50, right? I want equal timeshare because I want to be able to raise my son. I think, and again, I know there's guys that don't want the responsibility. Heck, we know a guy, this guy, and my mother knows this guy, this lady that works with her. Her husband, they were married. The guy didn't want his wife becomes pregnant. She says, "Oh, we're having a baby." He tells her, "I don't want to have a child." She's like, "What? You never told me this." And whatever. She has the baby. This guy left the country to avoid the responsibility of a child. He left the country. He went back to his country, wherever he's from. So you have dudes that they don't want no responsibility. Then you have dudes that love their kid, have been there for their kid like from day one, like me, will do anything for their kid, and then you have type of woman like her that knows this and she'll try to use that again, disgusting act, a child. Let me withhold the child away from the dad. Why? So I can poke at him because it's the only thing I have left. He didn't want to get back with me. He didn't want to fix the relationship because I screwed it up beyond repair. So now, to be spiteful, I'm gonna grab the last thing I have, which is his son, and take him away and not let him see his son. But this is the thing. This is the equivalent of, imagine you have a baby and you're the mom, right? Imagine you have the baby. You love your child so much, of course. But you say, I love my child so much, I'm going to defend him against anything, right? Perfect. Somebody comes to, let's say, attack you or whatever, or take your child. And you say, no, 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 I love my baby. And then you proceed to grab the baby and whack the person with the baby, right? And then you hold the baby again. So you're defending the person from taking your baby away while whacking the person with the baby. In other words, you're hurting the baby in the process. And this is what she's doing. She's withholding the baby to hurt me, right? But she's affecting the baby because the baby and the kid, as it grows up, my son is about to be 4, he needs his dad. So you're attempting to punish the guy by withholding the kid, but the kid is being affected because he needs his dad. So it's that example of you're trying to hit somebody with the baby while claiming I love my baby and I'm protecting him. Well, what the heck are you doing? That's not how you do it, because you're hurting the baby. That's an assault. Oh yeah. Wa alaikum salam, Daniel. How you doing? How you doing, Alicia? KQ, bro. I don't know, man. I mean, then my wife, right? She has a 5-year-old boy, and my stepson, and his dad is like the version of uh, the mother of my son, but in male version. She's the female version. He's the male version. But him, He doesn't really care about his kid. Like every now and then he'll give a call and talk to his kid or whatever, but he's not there for his kid. He doesn't. He's not interested in what's going on with school. Me, man, I want to know what's going on with my kid's school. I want to know every doctor's appointment he's had. I had to tell that woman, hey, whenever I've seen him like on video, I have to keep telling her, hey, take him away from the TV because his face is literally like this on a giant flat screen TV. This little things I pick up and I have to tell her, hey, look, he's too close to TV. You know, why doesn't he have his glasses on? He needs his glasses. Things like this. Now, there was a time that I did have him for a few weeks, not in a row. Just we came to a temporary agreement, and she allowed me to have him for like, I think it was like a period of 3 months. I had him for 1 week, one month, 1 week, the other month, 1 week, the other month, 1 week, and then she bolted and disappeared again. But she did this twice. The whole moving and blocking of communication, she did this twice. So during that week, I wouldn't even work that week. I was all about my son. Cook for him from the minute he will wake up to the minute he will go to sleep. I will cook for him, give him every single bath. I didn't even work. I would be outside playing with him in the park. I was all about my son, and I will keep her updated of everything. She has the videos I will send her, the pictures I'll send her. Sometimes she wouldn't even have to call to see him in the afternoon because I'll call her. So I'm on top of things. I'm a good parent and I'm a good co-parent. So, and she knows I'm crazy about my son, and she knows the type of father I am. So she used that to be like, "Oh, you care about your son? Okay, let me," because the law right now allows her to do it, you know. But that's not a good parent. That's not a good mother. Does she take care of all his physical needs and things like this? Yes, yes, but that's part of being a parent. But you can't claim you're a good parent if you're using your son for a personal vendetta against the other parent. You're taking your son or your daughter away from the other parent. That's not a good parent because you're not. That's not in their best interest. So a good parent is somebody that takes into account a child's best interest at all times in different areas, not just physical area, not just giving him the food, not just dressing him or buying him things. What other things does that child need? He needs time with other parents. He needs time with other family members, grandparents, and things like that. And you're withholding the child for a personal vendetta. You can't claim you're a good mom or a good dad doing that. You know what I mean? But I'm that guy. I'm that guy that said, okay, you move 4.5 hours away. I'm gonna move there. I'm gonna lease an apartment over the internet. I'm not even gonna go see it. I'm gonna move to that city you're in now. I'm gonna get you served. I'm gonna go to court and let's go. Let's go. So at first, I did this process pretty much by myself, the whole paperwork filing, which is exhausting. Then when she filed her counter petition, because again, I filed for 50-50, 1 week each. Nothing crazy. 1 week you, 1 week me. I live 20 minutes away from you now. So then when she realized I wasn't backing, I wasn't withdrawing this from court, she decided in her counter petition, she said, oh, I want him to have him every other week and only. So when she did that, I went and I got a lawyer, a female lawyer. And I explained everything to the female lawyer. And somebody advised me a long time ago, get a female lawyer in your case, because believe it or not, it can influence. It might look too rough, even though she's in the wrong through and through, and you have all your evidence. And I'm not even going into full details here. I have a lot of evidence of crazy stuff this woman has done. She has nothing on me. When I say nothing, you know what she had to resort to? This is how she got nothing on me. This is what she did. Let me tell you this. A couple of weeks after she's trying to play nice or whatever, she goes, you want to spend time with him, right? I go, yeah, of course. I want to spend time with him. I have been asking her. She's like, okay, you can come pick him up tomorrow. Now watch this. Follow me. I go, okay, what time? Let's agree upon a time. She's like, yeah, what time can you come? I'm like, 12 o'clock. She's like, perfect. Everything through text. Next day comes, 11 o'clock. I'm like, I text her. I'm like, hey, I'm here at the store. Is he still using the same size Pampers and stuff like that? She's like, yeah, same size. Perfect. How about this? Like to send her pictures. You think he's gonna like this? Because I haven't seen him in almost 2 years because of her taking him away. So I don't know what he likes. You know, like you think he likes this type of food because he's a little picky with his food. She's like, yeah, that's perfect. Let me know when you're on your way. I'm like, okay. I text her like 10 minutes later after I leave the store. I'm on my way. She's like, perfect. I'm just cleaning him up now. He just had breakfast. Whatever. Maybe it was like 10 in the morning or something. But she said, just cleaned him up now. And he was having breakfast. So I'm like, perfect. I'm like, hey, I'm 10 minutes away. She's like, okay. Text her, hey, I'm outside. She's like, okay, I'll be on in a minute. You know what she did? She proceeded to make me wait 45 minutes. I haven't seen my son in 2 years. Outside the house. Before she comes out the door, she sends me a text and goes, I don't feel good about this anymore. I'm just going to bring him out so he can see you. And walks out. I read the text and walks out. Now think about this. You haven't seen your child in almost 2 years because the other parent's taking him away, withholding the child. You agree with that parent that you're going to go pick up the child, not go see the child. Pick up the child, spend the day. This was the deal. Spend the day and bring him back the next day. Right? So you're already excited that you're about to see your kid and take him and spend time with him, quality time with him. Right? And the other parent goes, I don't feel good about this anymore. I'll just bring him out so you can see him. When she comes out with him, obviously I'm happy to see my boy. I grab him, I hug him, I throw him up in the air because he used to like when I used to toss him up and he used to laugh. I throw him up in the air right away. He's cheesing, smiling, and saying, more, 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 right? And then I see the text. I'm like, hey, we had agreed that I was coming to pick him up. I didn't come here to like see him and drive off. You know, we talked about this in detail. She's like, yeah, but I don't know. Now, the whole time I noticed she's filming. She has a hoodie on and she's filming. She has the phone here in her middle pocket here. She's filming. Why is she doing this? She's doing this because she's trying to solicitate an emotional reaction from me. She's hoping because she has nothing. So she's hoping that I get into some sort of like, no, you know why I'm here. I'm here to pick him up. And we get into some sort of like tug of war, with a child. And now I'm the bad guy. What? You know, look what he's doing, Your Honor. She got something on video now that she can say I'm a bad guy. But since she had nothing, and I play chess, right? I don't play checkers. So I realized even if there was no camera, I would never do that anyway. But she was hoping, she was playing on the fact that I had an emotional moment to where I reacted emotionally and say, no, I haven't seen my son in 2 years. You know I was going to come pick him up. I'm taking him, right? And put him in the car and take off. That's what she was banking on. Backfired. So I said, we had agreed upon this. Everything's on text. You're not going to let me have him? Now I had to spend like 5-6 minutes with my son. She's like, no, I don't feel good about this anymore. I said, no problem. I got in my car. As I'm getting in my car, she goes, so you don't want to spend any time with him? Alhamdulillah. 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 So you don't want to spend any time with him? Not only is she provoking a negative reaction from me, but she's attempting to. But then she says, oh, so you must not want to spend any time with your child because, listen, I got in my car and I drove off. And I was recording. I have my iPad here recording just in case. I had a recording because I anticipated you cannot trust this woman, not even a little bit. I anticipated just in case. I had some hope that, okay, this might go smooth. I show up. She honors her word, which is for me to take him for the day, bring him back tomorrow. I had some hope. But in the back of my mind, I knew who I was dealing with. So I was recording just in case. That's what she did the first time. Then she realized, well, this doesn't work. So then that's when she kind of opened up a little bit for a minute, and she's like, okay, hey, like a couple of weeks went by. She's like, hey, do you want to come with me to the doctor? because I had him do some tests and just to get the results. I said, yeah, of course. I showed up to the hospital. I mean, to the doctor's appointment. Everything went smooth that day. That's when she let me have him. Those pictures that I showed. That's when she let me have him for a few hours a day. I told her I will take him back to you by 8 o'clock. I keep my word. I don't break my word. So she can't say she doesn't have any real concerns that I'm gonna keep him or anything because I keep my word. She doesn't. She breaks her word every time. I keep mine. So I took him back at the end of the day at 8 o'clock. Um, but a week goes by and I say, hey, I want to pick him up next weekend because I want to take him to Miami so that he can see his grandparents. Now she, being the weirdo that she is, has some sort of vendetta against my parents also. My parents treated her like a daughter, through and through, even helped her with a lot of things. My parents did. It's not like a bad relationship, like bad mother-in-law type of relationship. No, no, no. It's just that when our relationship fell apart, she took it upon herself to say, "I'm gonna hate everybody that is associated with him. His mom. They don't have to do anything bad to me. I'm just a psychopath. I'm gonna hate everybody equally. His sister, which my sister was trying to help her to do a course so she can get a good job and stuff. Everybody that tried to help her, she just said, "Oh, you're related to him. I'm gonna hate you all equally." So once she found out that I was gonna take him back for the weekend, and I gave her details, I was like, "Look, we're gonna go Friday at this time. We're gonna be back on Sunday around 4 p.m. and I'll have him back to you around 5 or 6 p.m. on Sunday." Just because I said that he was gonna go see his grandparents, she texted the next day. She's like, "I don't feel good about this. I think we should just wait till everything's finished through the court." Was I shocked? No, because again, I know how she is. She flip flops. She doesn't keep her word. She's a person not trustworthy. So, but that's where we're at now. This court situations take a long time. This whole process has been going on already for 4 months, and I've had to wait like 3 months to have a court date for next month. Next month, middle of next month, that's our first hearing, which is mediation. Now, in the state of Florida, you cannot waive mediation. It's mandatory. Whether you guys agree or not, it's one thing. It goes to the judge if you don't, but it's mandatory. You have to at least come to the table, sit down, and say, and try. She waived mediation. In other words, me knowing this, I contacted the court. Is the audio still on, or is this thing dead? I hired the lawyer, and I asked the court, "Hey, is there a way we can you can contact her to schedule mediation like as soon as possible?" And they say, "Yeah, because that's the next step anyway." So they contact her, and she declined the mediation. They gave her 2 weeks to answer. She waited to the last day, and then she declined the mediation. Now, declining the mediation is not a smart thing to do because, again, it's mandatory. So once one party declines the mediation, the next thing is to go to the judge, which would be presiding over your case, and say, the person declined mediation. We need an order from you to make him go to mediation. It's a stupid thing to do because you're now telling the judge, I'm not even willing to sit down and talk to the other parent. The judge has to force you. Order. You have to go to mediation. Stupid move, right? Why would you attempt to waive something that is not waivable? She does everything like this backwards. Anyway, that's when I contacted a lawyer because, man, this was becoming very, very stressful. And I had already done a lot of the work by submitting a lot of the paperwork. So I saved me some money on that part of it. So that's exactly what my lawyer did. My lawyer said, "Oh, she waived mediation. Nice." She went to the judge. The judge gave an order. You have to go to mediation. And now it's scheduled for next month. Now, I spoke to my lawyer and I explained to her everything, like what she had done in the counter petition. She was asking for me to have him every other weekend, even though there's no reason for me to have him every other weekend. I can have him every other week. And my lawyer listened to me, and she's like, "Oh, so that's what she wants. That's what she's asking for, her counter petition." Because at this point, my lawyer hadn't gotten, in the case yet. I was talking to her. This was the first time talking to her, so I hadn't hired her yet. She's like, "Well, she can ask for whatever she wants till she's blue in the face. That doesn't mean she's gonna get it, because under Florida law, you as the dad are entitled to 50-50 equal timeshare as long as you can have them. Do you have an apartment? Yep. You have any like bad criminal record? Maybe she can use something against you." I'm like, "Nope, clean, zero, nothing." She said, "Well, she can ask for whatever the heck she wants, but she's not going to get it." And she said, "Listen, if you hire me, I'll take care of this in mediation. This won't this won't even go to litigation unless she's crazy," she told me, the lawyer. She goes, "Because once we sit down with her in mediation and we explain to her the repercussions of her taking this to litigation, she would have to be completely bunkers to take it to litigation, because there's no reason for her to take it to litigation when you're asking for 50-50, unless she can prove that you're like unfit father or whatever, which doesn't seem to be the case, and it's not. She would just be dragging on this further in for no reason. We can explain to her the consequences of taking this to litigation, and possibly even holding her responsible for your lawyer fees, because litigation is going to cost more money. Mediation is one thing. You've already paid, not already, I hadn't paid her yet. You would be paying the first retainer because you filed all your own paperwork. You would be paying for the first retainer, and we're just going to have to do some tweaks maybe in the paperwork you file, but for the most part, and then that retainer will take you through mediation. We'll cover it. Now, if it goes into litigation, it becomes more expensive, and that's when, by her extending this into something that doesn't have to be extended, because you're not asking for primary custody, so there's nothing for her to fight in court, because again, the law backs you up. If you're asking for 50-50, it's your right. You just have to enforce that right, establish that right by going to the court. So if she chooses to drag this on, which is going to be of a further cost to you, we can ask the judge to put that cost on her and pay for your financial fees, because she chose to be uncooperative by declining mediation in the first place, which already shows she's not cooperative. And furthermore, by dragging you into further spending of money on legal fees when it didn't have to go that route. So she said, once we sit down with her in mediation and we explain to her, you're not going to win this, because this is his right also. And two, we can ask the judge to put the financial burden of his legal fees on you. She said, unless she's completely bunkers and doesn't care about the repercussions of this, then she'll drag it on into litigation. But the lawyer told me, but I'm confident that once we sit down with her in mediation and we explain to her all this, then she might come to her senses. And she's like, and I hope she hires a lawyer so that her lawyer can explain to her that she's not going to win this. So, but that's where we're at now. I just have to wait till next month and for a court day, but this thing's take a long time. Wa alaikum salam, Daniel. What's my opinion on what? On Palestinian child. What's up, Connor? But yeah, I just have to continue to be patient. I mean, I've been patient all this time. Because when I first moved here, and she had no clue. She had no clue that I knew where she was. She had no clue that I had moved here. And I had the address, and I moved like 20 minutes away from her. Every cell in my body wanted to show up there and take my son. And trust, if I would have showed up there, I would have taken my son. Nobody was gonna stop me. Not the boyfriend, nobody. You talking about my son? Nobody. But if I do this, if I did that, then I'm the bad guy. I give her at that point I lose the game, the chess game. Completely. I'm the bad guy. I showed up unannounced. We need a restraining order. This guy's crazy because he dared to show up for the son, for his son that you've kept basically kidnapped from him for over a year and a half, right? But I will be like the bad guy because I'm showing up. How dare him find me and show up here for his son? I become the bad guy because there's no legal ground yet. You know, so I had to be very patient. There was times that as I was doing Uber or whatever, I would drop somebody and I happened to end up really close by, and every cell in my body wanted to go in there and get my child. But alhamdulillah, things happen for a reason. And next month, what we're hoping for, a good resolution to this would be next month when we have the mediation. Um, and once we sit down at the table, we're hoping that she goes, okay, 50-50, which she told me she was not going to fight it. But again, you cannot believe anything she says. She told me a few weeks ago when she was trying to play nice about a month ago. She was like, "Oh, I understand. I'm not gonna fight it," but that's because she was trying to fish for information. She was asking me things here and there, like, and I know how to play the game with her, so I will give her a little bit of information that she wanted. But I know her very well. But we're hoping that once we go to mediation next month, she doesn't drag it out any longer, and we agree. Okay, 50-50. You have them this time. I have them that time. This week, that week. It gets sent to the judge, sign off, and we move on with our lives. But I think once there are actual repercussions attached to her actions, she would come down some. That's the hope. Because at that point, once there's a court order, if she continues this activity of "I'm not gonna let you see your son, I'm gonna keep him," now there's big problem. Once there's a court order, big problem now. Because I asked my lawyer about this. She's like, I asked her, okay, what if once there's a court order, I show up to see my son, it's my time to pick him up, it's my time to have him my week. I show up and she doesn't want to give him to me. What happens then? So what happens then is I go to the sheriff department with my court order. Now the game changes. Sheriff goes with me to the house, to her house, to enforce sheriff department to enforce his order. That doesn't mean they're gonna break in the door or even like grab her and give me my son. That's not how it's gonna go. Sheriff will knock on the door. If she refuses, they do a report. With that report, I go back to the court. Violation of the court order. Now, a judge can hold her in contempt, put her in jail, or give me full custody. Because she will now be violating a court order. Now there's consequences attached to her actions of keeping my son away from me. But as of right now, there's no consequences, and that's how it is. This is what happens when guys, when they're not married and they have a child and they're not married. My son was born before I became Muslim. I didn't revert to Islam while I was with this woman, right? This is a separate issue, right? I reverted to Islam after this because in Islam, it's not permissible to have kids out of wedlock and you have to be married first and things like this. But what's in the past is in the past. Allah forgives all your previous sins. Once you accept Islam, you become a Muslim, you get a clean, um, you're sinless pretty much when you revert to Islam. Not pretty much, you become sinless. And then from there on, you're human, so you'll start accumulating sins again, because we're all going to sin. So you try to do the best you can to repent and not repeat. To repent and not repeat. My mother just texted me. I'm going to call her. She's asking me if I could call her. So I'm gonna end this live stream. Thank you for rocking with me. If you're new, please subscribe. Thank you, Ella, for the super chat. I appreciate that greatly. That's right. Pray all the time. And yeah, I'm gonna call my mother because my mother is asking me to call her. So again, if you're new here, please subscribe, and I'll do another live stream, inshallah, later on. Great day. Have a great day, everybody.